I'm sorry, Sardo. This fire is out of control.
This fire is out of control.
It has burned down our kitchen.
This fire cannot be reasonably contained. Stross, I told you not to put water on a grease fire.
I did not. I put oil on it, like you're supposed to. That is your cold open for today. This week, the worst cold open yet. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Skeleton Crew podcast. That's Sardo. I'm Stross. We're your hosts. Sardo, roll the intro again.
Yeah, we watched Cyberpunk Edgerunner, first 4 episodes. It's really fucking good.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's hot in here. Once again, I have no AC on because art is pain.
Well, we'll keep this brevitus so you don't overheat.
Oh, I won't overheat. I got water here.
Yeah, but damn, I get it now. I get it now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I'll ask you the first question. You have not seen this yet.
No, I haven't.
Okay, you haven't seen it. I have. I saw it late last year. We were both very behind on it. You more than me, but honestly behind.
I'm always about 5 years late to the party, so.
Well, now you're not. You're now at the party.
Yay!
And the party is pretty good. So, first 4 episodes, we meet pretty much our main principal cast. Who was your favorite?
Shit. That's a tough call. I feel like I'm still forming opinions.
That is fair. We did just watch it.
I'm really sad because I can't remember her name at this moment. I really love the big lady.
Oh, Dorio. It's okay.
Dorio.
Dorio doesn't... Her name isn't said a whole lot. It's said a few times here and there, but it's... I would say she's... In terms of characters whose names come up the least... The only person with less times is literally David's mother, and that's because she dies in the first episode.
Yeah, rest in peace to David's hot mom.
David's hot, very hot mom.
In the tradition of going for like the mentor characters, I like Dorio, I like Maine. I like Maine a whole lot. He's a fun dude.
He's very large. I
love a big dude with a gun on his arm.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're really just continuing from what we talked about last week in that regard.
Yeah.
Hey, parallels.
But what about you, Stross? Like, who's your favorite?
Okay, so I guess the problem for me is that we are talking about, like, post finishing the series, and this is a rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
For me, much like with Heike's story, I inflict things upon Sardo, apparently.
Oh, yes.
But in this case, mine was always Rebecca, who you now understand why she's popular.
I also really like Rebecca.
Who doesn't love a tiny, gremlinly woman who's incredibly violent?
I don't know. Her design is cute, but knowing a little more about her, and especially because we watched the dub, we watched the English dub, her voice, everything about her is just fun in like a trashy Midwestern mother kind of way that I really dig.
She's definitely, I mean, I think what makes it, what's really good about Edgerunners is that because the cast is, like, David's the youngest member of the cast, like, consistent cast, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has, like, so you have a bunch of trashy adults in their own unique trashy way. You got large and trashy, like Dorio and Maine, and then you got incredibly tiny, violent, and trashy. That's great.
I love her.
Good news, she sticks around, and you're going to see a lot more of her.
Yay!
Including her incredible violent tendencies.
I like her violent tendencies.
We love a tiny woman who's incredibly violent.
And boy howdy, the violence in this.
Oh yeah, okay, so like content warning, just violence out the ass.
Yeah, it's there are people getting turned into pulp.
I,
A guy
yeah, that happens in like the second episode.
a guy literally gets exploded into a jelly.
And it's great.
It's I love it. I love it. I love a little bit of blood and guts
I
in my
think what helps is that it, like, because of art style and direction, like, it's not grotesque violence. The only
I think it's scrumptious violence.
Yeah, it's very scrumptious. It's very to the wall, if you will.
Oh yes, to the window, to the wall.
Yeah, until the sweat drips from. Oh wait, you've been shot. He is dead. He is very dead. So first episode, as a quick recap, we get introduced to David and sort of his what was his daily life of going to school, hating it, being stuck with rich kids as the singular poor.
The solo poor.
The solar poor boy from a poor family. You were going the same direction.
Yeah, yes, I was.
We share a half a brain cell, and this is what it does.
It's true.
But we do that, then we move, and as the day goes on, he gets in trouble at school. His mom's like, "You can't do this, David. I work super hard," and we're like, "Don't disappoint your mother, David." And then his mom dies, literally during that conversation.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o.
And I gotta say, because like this is cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So there is commentary all over on, and it's stuff that it's like, in the future everything's gonna be shit, and it's like, oh no, it's shit right now. We just don't have all this cool technology.
Yeah, I'm mad that the world, we're in a cyberpunk dystopia in real life, and I can't just have a gun in my arm.
Yeah.
Or a sword. I feel ripped off.
Like I think it's bullshit that we still like have all these social problems, but I don't get bionic legs.
Yeah, I want eyes that can see in the dark and hands that can just bust through a wall, and yet I still have to pay insurance? Fuck you.
Huh.
Just not cool. But anyway, after that, next episode, David is basically like, shit, my mom's dead. And in deciding to get back at his bullies, attaches an incredibly expensive piece of military-grade hardware to his spine. That makes you go fast.
Because we find out that his mom was actually, because his mom was like an ambulance driver, is what I'm taking away from, like,
yes,
she was like an emergency paramedic.
And
but she,
in classic cyberpunk fashion,
she
scrapes a little bit off the side to make ends meet.
Well, if it's there, you might as well do something with it.
Yeah. But anyway, so she did that, and what we learn is basically across the next across that episode, after David runs into a lady named Lucy. A very pretty lady.
She is extremely pretty.
Almost too pretty.
You might say she's a femme fatale.
I wonder if that's a reference to something I did on my stream recently. But yeah, so she's like, hey, you want to make some quick cash? Because she's basically pickpocketing people, or at least the equivalent of pickpocketing people. Actually, this leads to a very important question for you. How familiar you are with the world of cyberpunk?
Oh. Moderately, not a lot.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, just a brief aside, this is Cyberpunk as done by the tabletop game Cyberpunk. Well, it was originally 2013, and then 2020, and then it's much like a lot of Cyberpunk material. It's supposed to be the near future, not the far future.
The not too distant future. So, Stross, does that mean Mystery Science Theater 3000 is cyberpunk?
Honestly, it kind of is, yeah. I thought you were gonna go with oh god, who are the New Zealanders? Oh.
Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, I thought you were going for Flight of the Conchords right there. I'm like, I know it has something to do with birds. And not just because they're Kiwis. Because I thought you were going to go to the year 2000. The distant future.
That too.
Yeah, also happens. But basically, it is created. It was a tabletop game made by Mike Pondsmith. He's in the opening credits as based on his universe. Did you know he's black?
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. One of the few major tabletop games I can confirm is made by a black man.
Cool.
Yeah. And you see pictures of him and he's like, yeah, that's the guy who made Cyberpunk. Look him up right now as I go with the rest of the episode. So yeah, Lucy eventually, like, they do a bunch of stuff. They rob a bunch of people, like pickpocketing, make some money. David collapses because you can't just keep using, it's called a Sandevistan. It makes you go fast. It makes you go brr.
Mm-hmm.
And he passes out. And eventually they, instead of getting basically robbed in the ambulance, because this is the capitalist hellhole of Night City, they peace out of the ambulance in a very fun little sequence.
It was very cool because, like, Lucy's like, because David's on the gurney, he's strapped down, and Lucy is just like steering him down the highway. She's having a great time, and then they finally stop, and she's like, "Yeah, all right," and he's like vomited in his like air mask. And it's like, okay, you're not all right.
You're not all right.
Also, Mike Pondsmith, you're not fucking kidding. Dude looks like he could be a Final Fantasy character.
Yeah, like I said, he looks like the guy who made Cyberpunk.
Yes. Cool looking dude.
Yeah, I'd chill with Mike Pondsmith.
Oh, totally.
But anyway, at the end of the episode, David's back in Lucy's apartment. She shows him a brain dance about her dream of going to the moon. And you want go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was
first.
She wants him to fly her to the moon and let her play among the stars. There we go. Got it out of my system.
And suddenly there's a gang member. And that's how episode 2 ends. And oh shit, he is large.
And then we meet the rest of our cast.
Yeah, so basically, next episode picks up and we learn who these people are. And it's Maine, who we've mentioned already. And my favorite part about Maine is that he's really pissed at David. And then he learns that, oh, you're Gloria's kid. Oh, she's dead? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I'm not forgiving you for what you did, but, like, I sympathize.
And to be fair, Maine is, I feel, very generous.
No, it makes you... It's a great establishing moment to make you realize that Maine's not a piece of shit.
He has, like, a clear sense of honor. Like, it's the whole honor among thieves thing.
Yeah.
He, like... Yeah.
Yeah, this is a gang of Edgerunners who, in universe, is a name for, or cyberpunks who basically run jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, no, I'm a leader. I'm like, these are my people. I gotta, keep them safe.
Yeah.
Maine's a cool guy. Because it's like, he could have just beat up David and be done with it, but he's like, okay, David, like, your mom's dead, I sympathize, I worked with her, she's a good person, obviously you didn't know, I ain't gonna be pissy about that, I'm mad at you, but I'm mad at you in the way that you shouldn't have done that. Like a dad.
And plus, you're like a baby.
Yeah,
so.
You were a baby, you didn't know that this was gonna happen, and basically this leads to David's first job, because David's like, well, let me work with you. And he's like, all right, I don't see why not. I mean, what's one more guy on that's like insurance? And hey, you already got the thing strapped into you, so it's a spinal attachment. Well. And it goes, not much like a first job in a lot of stories. It doesn't go according to plan because they have to steal a car.
But it's not really David's fault.
It's not David's fault. Shit just doesn't go according to plan. It happens. No one blames David because they're like, shit went not according to plan. Like, which is where we also meet Rebecca, who decides to, fuck with the mark in the best way.
Rebecca grabs some junk. She does her thing. and
everyone loves
she's terrific.
We love a 20-year-old tiny woman. I say this because I have to defend the honor of my younger sister, who is 5 feet tall.
She's like the size of an apple or a button, and she's terrific.
Yeah. And there's an extended awesome car chase, which which ends with Maine saving the day at the very last minute, which is when we said a guy got turned into pulp. This is when it happens.
Oh yes.
Boom.
We got 2 fucking samurai dudes on bikes.
Yeah,
speaking Japanese in the English dub, which was cool.
Yeah, no, one of the things about the world of Cyberpunk is that, like, Night City is, like, full of everything. So you got people who speak all the languages.
Yeah.
And you got, like, a universal translator, which would be awesome to have anywhere you go.
God, it would be.
Yeah, but so, yeah, in the end, they, like, celebrate, and everyone's like, you did good, David. You managed to get the car in. It wasn't how it was supposed to go, but you managed to, like, succeed.
And it's like, wouldn't it be nice, to have, like, that level of, like, understanding and care from your bosses in your actual first jobs?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because it's like, it was Maine's plan. It didn't go according to plan. And it's like, that's not his fault. Like I said, Maine's like a really cool, very large dad who shoots people.
Yes. And
they have a party at the end. And then, hey, we meet their fixer, Faraday, played by Giancarlo Esposito. Dead serious.
I think he looked a little bit like Mike Pence. I think that was like the only time I like cut in during watching it.
I had to laugh because it's like, ah. And then
former Vice President Mike Pence?
God, I hope he doesn't live to the 2070s.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, this by the way, this game specifically takes place in 2076. This show.
Right.
The game takes place in 77, and the most recent edition of the tabletop takes place in 2045.
Cool.
Which I played. It's fun. And then it's then we have episode 4, which is really more about sort of like, much like the first episode, it's about David's current life of just doing shit with this team, learning to be part of the team. Maine, like, is like, hey, we'll teach you. We'll make you, because like one of the things Maine told to David at the end of episode 4, it's like, there's only one person you can truly trust. That's yourself. So he's like, David's like, I gotta be better. And he does.
Yeah, episode 4 is by and large kind of a training montage.
A really fun training montage with a bunch of wild shit. Like, it's Maine, it's Pilar, it's Dorio, it's even Rebecca helps them out, and they do a whole bunch of random stuff, and we see a bunch of like missions that they've done.
We kind of get a sense of like what David's been going through up to this point, and kind of how the gang functions, and it's cool.
Yeah, no, and they're like, oh, these are people who generally all get along. Like, hey, like, David delivers some new hands to Pilar, who's this guy with weird hands.
Kind of a creep.
Yeah,
don't really miss them when.
Oh yeah, and the episode ends with some more violence because
Pilar gets his fucking face blown off.
Pilar, in not listening to everyone else, is just like, hey, I'm gonna fuck with this, like, weird homeless guy pissing into a oil drum for some reason, because he's a weirdo. And, gets his head blown off, basically.
In exquisite detail.
Oh, yeah, it is beautifully animated of watching a man's head get blown off.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's wonderful. 10 out of 10. And this is where you learned that Rebecca is why everyone is Rebecca's favorite.
We love Rebecca because she fucking loses her mind, understandably.
It's her brother, and she's like, you son of a bitch. Well, okay, she does not call him a son of a bitch first. Calls him like 3 other various curse words beforehand.
She calls him a lot of things.
The first one is cocksucker, I know that.
Yeah.
And extremely loud, high volume, full violence shooting both guns.
And it takes like several people, including huge ass brick shithouse sized Maine, who is not successful in restraining her by himself.
No, she just wiggles out of his grasp, grabs his gun, and shoots him and just goes flying because he's a large man with a big gun.
It's just like, but it's like trying to hold on to a greased pig. She won't stand still.
Yeah, she is a tiny, violent woman, and we love her.
She's great.
She's wonderful. And that's where we end, is basically with after that fight, Lucy gets taken to the Ripper dock that David goes to all the time and is like, hey, you know, they've been hanging out all intermittent through this episode, and then David's like, hey, Lucy, I will take you to move, and then they smooch.
Like, oh, okay, so enough of the will they or won't they? They will.
They will.
At least for now.
We're not sure if she's too old for you or not, David, but all right.
It's like, yep, that's, okay, David. Okay, man.
All right, well, that's what happens.
Yeah, But yeah,
anyway, that was the first 4 episodes. That's what happened.
Damn, that was really good.
Yeah, no, it's this is obviously by Studio Trigger of Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, and not Beastars. That's a different thing. What was the other? They also did a thing that was for the furries. I don't remember what it was called.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Well, with the other animal people.
Yeah, and various other things. This is specifically by Imiyashi, who's the specific... Okay, so I'm going to tell you what Imiyashi is most famous for. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
He did He did Re, Cutie, Honey, the first episode. He did Dead Leaves back in the day.
Oh, damn.
He was the director of Gurren Lagann.
Oh, there. Well, that explains a lot.
I'm about to state all the things he's famous for, and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. Penny and Stocking, Kill la Kill, obviously. Yeah. Space Patrol, Luluco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very good. Very good.
He did the Twins for Star Wars Visions, famously. Mm-hmm. And Premiere. He's a Oh, yeah, it's B&A, Brand New Animal. That's the thing. That's what he did. That was the other thing.
You know, you might say he's starting to get somewhere in his career. You know, no real big bangers yet, but I'm sure he'll get there.
Sure. Why not? But
give him time. He's a rookie.
Yeah, sure, a rookie. But yeah, this is Imiyashi, and this is a very Imiyashi series where it's very wild. You've seen Kill la Kill.
Oh, yes.
I know you have. You've probably seen.
Yeah, of course I have.
You've probably seen enough Gurren Lagann over the years.
Oh, it was actually the first thing by him that I saw.
Yeah,
so.
He's well known. He used to be for Gainax, and when all those guys started off to form Studio Trigger. And this was, created technically by CD Projekt Red's people. They wrote the thing and they're like, Studio Trigger. And they're like, yes, we want this. And they're like, yeah, we can do that. This is totally
now make it look nice.
Bitch is going to look amazing. Are you... okay, cool. This tiny gremlin woman. Why? She wasn't in the original script. Trust us. She'll be the most popular character. All right.
And they were right.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think she is the most popular character. By a wide... on this one image hosting side that I'm looking at, she is the most popular character by a wide margin.
That surprises me not at all.
Second is Lucy, which also is unsurprising.
Yeah. Also, yes.
But yeah... very fun. All the characters look neat.
Also, other huge name. There's a lot of big fucking names attached to this. But one that caught my eye was Akira Yamaoka. Silent Hill music creator, made music for Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah.
Uh, just godly all around. Did the music for
Yeah.
this. So
At least the non-licensed music for
yeah,
it. There's a lot.
he did not do the thing by Franz Ferdinand.
He also didn't do half the other music, and some of it's just actually from straight up 2077 soundtrack. Like, I Really Want to Stay at Your House, which is by, hold on, I have access to it. Rosa Walton and Holly Coggins, which played during the Moon montage. That song's going to infect your life. But yeah, there's also a lot of cast members. We watched the dub for 2 reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, this is one of these rare anime productions where like all the characters are in fact Americans of some variety, or maybe Americans. They live. It takes place in the United States. If I remember correctly, Night City is in SoCal. I think. Let me check. Yes, it's kind of where Los Angeles. It's in the middle of California, right below San Francisco. I think it's near a thing. God, where is that? Hold on. I should know this. I'm from there. No, my Northern California card is being called into question.
So, Stross, if this is in California, do you think that, like, Flea has survived to this point in time and he's just running around with, like, a sock over his cybernetic dong?
Yes.
Good.
And, of course, the one lesson from all of this is all Latinos, in fact, are incredibly fast.
Yes.
What's the true meaning of all this? But, yeah. Point is, it's very colorful. One thing I like, and I think you also like, it's a very colorful series. If you have not seen our special drunken ramblings on Akudama Drive, we love a lot of color in our Cyberpunk.
I love color. It's like whatever Cocomelon does for babies' brains, other than like rot it, color in anime does for my brain. I just clap my hands. It's like you're jingling keys in front of me. I love it.
It's great. And, first 4 episodes, we'll maybe do the last 6 at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably be the best way, because we realized that not a lot of people watched our last episode on Hey K Story, which is very shameful. Go watch it. Or listen to that one. How dare you? But yeah, American cast, awesome. Loved all of them. So shout out to Zach Aguilar, who is the main character, who also was the voice of Baby Boy Nier in the Nier remake. That's where you might have heard him before.
I knew he sounded familiar.
And Emmy Lowe, who played Lucy.
Big ups to both of them.
Yeah. You would recognize Emmy Lowe from Wolong, actually.
Oh?
Yeah, she's our good friend Dao Xiao.
Hey.
She didn't appear a lot in that game, actually.
Ah.
But yeah, fun game. We talked about that too. Go watch. You don't need to go watch that one. You guys watch that one.
Yes. But overall, I'm really impressed so far. When Edgerunners like first came out, I guess it's just like I thought it looked cool, but I'm one of these people that is just like, I'll get to that eventually.
Yeah,
and then it's like
I'm the same way. Like I was starting to play Cyberpunk anyways, so I'm like, I'm gonna play all the Cyberpunk stuff. Might as well. Decided to take a swing at the game, and now that it works, and it does, and now it's getting a whole ass new update in September. I'm like, well, it's gonna work even more now. But
that's a fun lesson to CD Projekt Red is that people tend to like your games when you actually fucking make them work, and that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah. Oh, that launch was a mess. But anyway, whole cast is great. Shout out to one Alex Cazares. Do you wanna know who that name played?
Who?
A tiny gremlin of a woman.
Rebecca. Also, I fucking love that her name's Rebecca.
Yeah,
It's
such a she like if it wasn't for her outfit, she would be so normal sounding.
Oh, and it just reminds me of that one Vine. It's like, what do you want for a healthy snack, Rebecca? I want Chipotle. I said a healthy snack, Rebecca.
That Rebecca would take a shot if you told her no. And by a shot, I mean with a gun. Because you can buy grenades just on the street in Night City, because fuck it. Capitalism.
Do whatever the fuck you want as long as you can pay for it.
Yeah, basically.
Also, I was so glad that, like, in the first episode, the fucking shit kid who bullies David, we got to see him get his ass beat really quickly, because it's like, if I have to see like a whole character arc about like him getting good enough to whip this kid with a stupid haircut's ass, I'm gonna be so mad.
Nah, he just crumbs up and instantly beats the shit out of him.
And it's great. I love that.
Socks him in the face. It's definitely a show that I feel like, you know, when everyone was talking about, like, I saw a lot of praise, and I have a lot of friends of mine who are actual anime press in this country somehow.
Yeah.
I know some weird people, like Sardo. Which is the same
I am pretty weird.
Yeah. I mean, that's a mutual statement. I know some weird people like Stross. And I'm like, yep.
But yeah, I mean, it was getting like a lot of praise, and like, I don't know, I'm always, I hate to be the person that it's like, well, you know, that thing's so popular, I don't want to see it. But it's like, when something does get like extremely heavy praise, I'm a little slower to act, because it's just like, what if it doesn't deserve the hype though? But this did.
Yeah, I think what helps is, number one, Studio Trigger is very consistent at least delivering on something visually fun.
Yes.
Like that, if I would to say, like, not everything they make is, like, high art or really well written. That's just kind of how not everything's going to be...
Kill la Kill was fucking dumb, but it looked bomb.
I would say Kill la Kill, it looks dumb. It's also way better than it has any right to be.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where, hey, this is what happens when you get a studio famous for making stuff that's already kind of punkish in nature, and just let them do their thing.
Yeah. I was watching David's haircut the whole time, like, hi, Kamina. Hi, Kamina. Hi, Kamina.
Yeah. I mean...
Hi, Promare guy.
Yeah, it's
What's
definitely Gallo.
Gallo. Hey, Gallo. Also Kamina.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's definitely one of those shows. They've only done so much stuff at Studio Trigger, but like and not all of it was great. Like when supernatural battles become commonplace, I'm gonna be nice there. They didn't write that.
Yeah.
They did, you know, a lot of this. I don't remember anything about Kisnaver.
I never watched it.
Well, Watch Academia is great. Go watch that.
Oh, it's great.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice here and decide that Darling in the Franxx wasn't their fault. The memes were excellent.
Yes.
The memes were excellent, and not because the show was good in the end. Because that was a co-production, so I'm willing to... That one I could... And I know they only did the, like, mech designs, so...
It was certainly.
Yeah, I mean, they made up for it with Skridman at the end of the year, so...
It's like, everybody loved that pink-haired bitch, and that's what I can give them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, point is, Studio Trigger it has, like, a style, and... You know, Cyberpunk surprisingly fits beautifully into it.
Oh, yeah.
Just mayhem, just loud, flashy, and not like in a bad way, but like, this is the type of shit that's just explosive.
It's stylish. It is stylish. It is bombastic.
It is loud. It's like gunshots in a crowded mall.
Yeah.
That's a Homestar Runner reference for everyone's favorite cereal. But yeah, no, it's fun show, excellently done. We like it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We like the characters so far. Sardo has no idea what's about to happen. I have to dread the future as he who knows. Again.
I have no idea what is going to happen.
You wanna give a weird ass prediction?
They blow up the moon.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll give you credit where credit is due. That is fucking weird.
Lucy's like, you know what? Actually, fuck the moon.
Fuck the moon.
And she blows it up.
Definitely, definitely not what I would have guessed, but, that's definitely that's Sarah's prediction. I'm not giving one because I just know the plot. So, been here.
Yes.
But so far, fun. Everyone's we're both in agreement. It's a fun thing. Anything you want to say about it that hasn't been said already?
I guess a small moment I really appreciated, and I think this was the first thing that made me look at Rebecca and really go, I like you. It's silly. That moment where David is like delivering something to like Pilar and like she answers the door and we first find out they're siblings, but it's just like the way they interact in like that like really brief exchange of dialogue when she's like, hey, you got a thing. I don't know. I thought it was kind of charming. It's just like there's like that really like casual back and forth, and I liked it. I liked it, and I like her. I'm not sad that Pilar's dead because he was a fucking weirdo, but
he was definitely the weirdest one.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought that was just kind of endearing.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun.
What about you?
I think one of my favorite things what I like about it is that it shows that your style can have substance. Like, I know we could have just said that with Heike's story when we talked about that. But it's just nice to have something that's, like, kind of loud, bright, colorful, and, like, yeah, there's a lot going on here. Like, there's a lot of commentary. Like, oh, hey, why does David's mom die? Gloria dies because she didn't have insurance that was good enough. They could have easily saved her.
But they didn't because she was poor.
Because she's a paw.
But I'm excited to see where this goes. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And we're like, this is neat. We're happy with it.
Yes.
And we only watched 4 episodes. A lot happens in an episode, actually, which is impressive because they're only like average length episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of stuff we said covered 4 episodes, and a lot happens in it. It's also, I think, very economical storytelling.
Yes.
Which I think really needs to be praised because you don't always get shows that are just so, okay, we understand the group dynamic after one montage.
It's very effective use of storytelling, and it just moves at a really steady clip.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, this is like high pace. It's just, you got 10 episodes, make do with it.
Yeah.
You got to tell this story in 10 episodes, and they understood how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm intrigued.
We are intrigued.
So, Stross,
yes.
That I guess that does it for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Very good so far. Yeah. For now.
Actually, I have a fun question for you about it. One last fun question.
Sure.
Because we need to like waste a little time here before we move on to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Akudama Drive on a whim that one time. Go subscribe to our Patreon to hear our thoughts on that. One of us is incredibly inebriated, and the other one is quite inebriated. But
yes, indeed.
As a comparison, which one out, because we watched 4 episodes of both, which one did you go like, okay, if you had to pick one, which one would it be so far?
That's tough because I feel like both do a set of very different things very well. I think I like the style of Akudama Drive just a little bit more. It's a little more my thing.
I think the difference is like the world of cyberpunk, capital C cyberpunk,
Yeah.
was created by Mike Pondsmith back in the 80s, which helped sort of, whereas Akudama Drive was created like a few years ago.
Yeah. And the thing about Cyberpunk is that I think there's a little more meat to it. I feel like I'm a little more invested in the story in that. So I think it's about 50-50.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And I mean, by the way, did you know who created the original concept for Akudama Drive?
Who?
It's the Danganronpa guy.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I knew it looked familiar.
But that's all he did was create the original concept. Everything else is not him, just to be clear.
Well, it looks fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, the guy has an eye for aesthetic.
I do like... I like a lot of stuff about his art style, poisoned as it may be by other things, but...
Yeah, I know.
It's a fucking neat style.
I luckily haven't interacted with annoying fan bases and people who got poisoned by said fan bases enough for me to be like, never. For me, that's sports.
Yes. Sports. One of the oldest and worst fandoms.
Indeed. Though, it does mean Philly gets set on fire.
So maybe not so bad.
It's not so bad. It's how Philadelphia celebrates. Wins or losses.
It's like, are you guys happy? Are you mad? I can't tell.
We're Philadelphia. Okay, fine. But yeah, no, I would say for me, both are great, but both are good for very different things.
Yes.
But if you like one, you're going to probably like the other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're similar in a lot of ways, but also very different.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Go. I concur.
Yes.
No, it's... I think
I see. You're using your word of the day calendar, Carl.
God damn it, Stross.
But yeah, so we'll finish both of those at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so far, both are good shows. Go watch both of them. And hey, Edgerunner is on Netflix. And Akudama Drive is on Crunchyroll and the Funimations, and or you could just go steal it. I don't know what you're gonna do. You might steal both of these.
You should watch them. Do whatever you need to do. Just watch them.
Yeah, watch them. They're good. In the meantime, I guess that's enough of that. We still got a few minutes left. Hey, Sardo.
What?
Anything interesting happened with you as of late?
Nothing happened to me personally, but I am dying to talk about something, Stross, because this is connected to a creator we both really enjoy. I don't know how much news you've seen about this. So, did you know Yoko Taro is creating an anime, a new television anime?
Ooh, exciting.
Let me pop you a link because this is fascinating to me.
All right.
And at first I was really excited, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where your mental journey goes with this, because I want you to see who's behind the creation of this, and then I want you to look at like a little bit of what this looks like so far. This is let's see here. It's, if I could find that fucking thing. Okay, Kami Erabi God.app is the anime's title.
That's a name.
It's a name.
Right.
It looks like it's some sort of like kind of evil phone game thing. Sushi Okubo, who is the designer for Soul Eater and also unfortunately Fire Force, designs the characters.
Mm-hmm. I will have to watch that afterwards, because if I play it now, everyone's gonna hear it.
Yeah. Jean from Kagero Project is writing the script and is charge of the series composition. Hiroyuki Seishita from Knights of Sidonia is directing the anime. And Monaka, who you might know for doing Nier Automata version 1.1a, is composing the music.
Oh, exciting.
And very interesting lineup. You know what? You should Google a little bit of just like the anime title so far, and you should see a little bit of what it looks like.
Oh, I will. I will. First reaction. Oh yeah, when they were announcing that Yoko Taro lost his mask at AX. So he went with the Notre Dame mascot. Oh, this looks weird. I'm down.
I watched I watched a little bit of the trailer, and I think it honest to God gave me motion sickness.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch it after we're done recording, but yeah, that looks like fun. That's interesting news.
So I thought that was fascinating. What about you, Stross? What's new in your world?
Well, we've been streaming Persona 5. That's been fun.
That has been fun. I've really enjoyed that.
Me too.
Morgana's a kitty.
Kitty. You've been so happy about that fact. He's also a bus.
He's also a bus.
That's a weird statement. Yeah, I've been playing Persona 5 again, obviously. Playing more of Final Fantasy 16 when I can. You know, doing my thing.
Very cool.
You know, just gotta be reading a book tonight. I'm gonna be reading Who Censored Roger Rabbit, which was the basis for the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. From what I know about it, I know that. I know that it's not a long book. It's like a little over 200 pages.
Nice.
But from what I do know, from people who've read the book and seen the movie's better.
That's fair. I mean, the movie probably can do a lot that the book can't do.
Well, it's also because, like, let's be real here. The movie is carried by, the performance of Bob Hoskins.
Yes.
And then B, more importantly, the animation of Richard Williams. The late, great Richard Williams. The man who literally wrote the book on it. For those who don't know, one of the biggest and most important, if you would probably know this, Sardo, because you're an artiste of some renown, I guess. I don't know.
I know things sometimes.
But you know that Richard Williams literally wrote the book on animation.
I do.
Have you ever read it?
I haven't yet. I'm not really.
I mean, you're not an animator, which is fair.
I'm still trying to figure it out. So I haven't read it yet, but I really should, probably. But that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I'm curious because that's one of my favorite childhood movies. And I'm curious to see how the book is.
Oh yeah.
I have to finish it by Sunday.
Well, best of luck to you. I think it'll be an interesting read from the sound of it.
And yeah, other than that, we're looking at, just kind of living life out here in the blazing hot summer. How have you been holding up in terms of the heat? Because I know you're a winter person deep down on the inside.
The heat drains me. I need my fainting couch.
I need the fainting couch. Please help me.
I turn into a frail Victorian child when summer rolls around because I am an absolute baby in the heat.
Understandable, really. I'm not much better.
Yeah, I want fall to get here because I'm sick of this summer bullshit already.
I mean, I do better in the heat, but that's because I'm from like California, and I know how much worse this can get.
Oh yeah.
I know this darkness. But in the meantime, yeah, summertime. We're enjoying this summer months as best we can. And we're enjoying our time. We finished Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. That was fun.
Loved that.
That was wonderful.
I forget how much everything Homestar Runner not poisoned my sense of humor, but kind of poisoned it.
It definitely poisoned your lexicon. like everyone else who's seen it, like that you just say words a certain way now, like jorb.
Jorb. You're jorb.
But yeah, I feel like, hey, we're going to keep watching Edgerunners at some point. It's probably not going to be soon. We're going to be talking about Metalocalypse at some point because there's a new movie coming out. And I remember I'm like, Sardo, you gotta see it.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think we're going to call this an episode. It's a bit of a shorty, but hey, not every one of them is going to be 2 hours long.
A shorty but a goodie, just like Rebecca.
Exactly. So anyway, I will give everyone the socials now. Hey, you can follow Sardo.
Yeah, you can follow me at Autopsy Garlands on Twitter for whatever amount of time it has left.
Yeah, as long as Twitter still holds up, you will find him there.
Marquis Belial for the art account. You can also find me on Art Fight right now. I am Uncle Death with a K instead of a C. Team Werewolf.
Team Werewolf.
Also, Uncle Death with spelled the same way on Twitch,
which will be later tonight because this comes out on a Monday.
That's right. I will be streaming there every Monday night around 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I draw things,
and I'm usually there because to commentate on the goings on.
Stross is there for moral support.
I'm not sure if I'm a moral support or immoral support. Considering the tank top slogan I had to make that you drew last time was my idea.
Yes, but I chose to do it.
This is true. And I'm on Twitch at Almighty Stross and every other social thing I'm on, which is also including Twitter, for as long as that's still around. I don't have an art account. You don't want to pay me for art. Maybe for editing. I could do that, but not for art. I don't draw.
And you can. Stross does stream, though.
Yes, that is true.
You can find Stross streaming Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday nights.
Starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'm going to be super real. I need to stop saying 7:30. I haven't started 7:30 in years. It's been a while. I need to stop lying to myself for thinking that's going to be a thing that happens.
Honesty is the best policy.
It is, until you need to lie.
Yes, this is true.
But yeah, so follow us here. You can find us, obviously. You found us either on Spotify, your RSS, YouTube, wherever else the hell this gets posted to. You find us there.
Oh, shit, too.
And hey, we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
You could give us $2 for stuff. We'll promise we'll have more extra stuff. It will happen eventually.
Once I don't have like a gorillion things to do, I'm gonna see if I can post some more stuff there.
You have a whole ass gorilla of things.
A whole ass gorilla. One metric gorilla of things that I need to do.
Yeah. But anyway, folks, thank you all for coming. We will see you again next week with, I don't know, we'll think of something.
Something cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be neat.
Take care.
Or at least we'll think we'll need.
Oh yeah, definitely so. Take care, be well, and good night, Chooms.
Bye, Chooms! Be careful. Going Chrome can be dangerous. Peace.